Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now September 13th of 2023, and as you all know, this year has been a very tough year for Disney. They really can't seem to shake their failures, anything ranging from the stocks hitting a 9-year low to the box office failures of many movies out there that have released, and the Marvels, which by the way is one that they are embracing right now, because it is going to be the next box office flop. That's exactly what they're anticipating. However, it all also dwindles back to what's going on with Bob Iger and what they are about to do with other major franchises out there that's only going to damage themselves even further down the road. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. And let's get right into the subject, shall we? Now, we know that Bob Iger, and I know I like to call him this a lot, Bob Iger, the guy always lies, he always tries to convince the general public that Disney is in a far better position than they really are. But we know that Bob Iger has made a number of announcements throughout the past couple of months. The biggest one of all, I feel, was the cost containment plan, revealing just how unbalanced Disney really is about spending less and making less just to keep themselves afloat. Yet at the same exact time, he says that that means that they're not concerned in the long term, they just have to figure out something in the short term. However, when it all comes back to Johnny Depp, we all know him as Captain Jack Sparrow, right? Nobody can ever beat that role. Captain Jack Sparrow is, of course, Johnny Depp. They are one and the same, to me at least. You can't get anybody else to play that role, nor can you get any other character to meet that status. Something that Disney believes that they're going to be able to succeed with. Now, with Disney currently in crisis due to their stocks hitting a 9-year low, and their latest box office failures, one major development has to do with Bob Iger, and what he recently delivered involving Johnny Depp. Iger went on to set the record straight. Here at Disney, we have a wide view of our vision for many of our stories to be retold in a new fashion. This, of course, will include our plans for reinventing Pirates of the Caribbean that will embrace diversity and equality to a new standard. We understand our customers' best interest was for Mr. Depp to return, but we felt it was necessary to remain distant from an individual that carried so much criticism and one that was difficult to reason with when it comes to agreeing on a deal to be made. We look forward to creating a new take on Captain Jack Sparrow. This will either mean a full-on recast of the character or a new character that will meet the same status. This is currently undecided at this time. Our goal is to do better than Mr. Depp's portrayal as the main star of the franchise, as we leap towards making a great success with our Pirates reboot. Now guys, let me just stop here real quick before I get to the next thing that Iger mentions. This goes to show you that they are so naive that they believe that they're going to be able to pull off either a recast of Jack Sparrow or a character that's going to, like he said, meet the same status. Basically a brand new character with the same gravitas, if you will, by an actor, which I don't believe they're ever going to find that. Here's the other problem, is that we know that Pirates of the Caribbean is a lightning in the bottle effect. It's much like Star Wars. You know, once you did it, you really can't emulate that feeling again, or that true, original, path that it went through. To reboot Pirates of the Caribbean is a very bad move, in my opinion. I feel that what they should have done was either ended it off with Pirates 6 or nothing at all. And the fact that they were gonna go all out with an all-female-led Pirates film, that fell apart, that got shelved, even Margot Robbie admitted to that. That just goes to show you how agenda-driven they really are with the Pirates reboot, which, by the way, now is no longer all-female-led, but now it's all about focusing strictly on their DEI agenda. Everything from diversity to equality to equity and more. And doing that and focusing on that above character development and story is exactly what's going to wreck this reboot. Now, he goes on to say some more concerning things, and this is going to involve Captain Jack Sparrow in the grand scheme of things, universally speaking. And what I mean by that is everywhere, alright? We know that Captain Jack Sparrow is not just in the movies, he is also in the parks. He is known throughout all of Disney. He's a very familiar figure, much like, you know, many of the characters associated with Disney really are, like Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse and Goofy, etc. However, this is where matters get even worse, is that he goes on to elaborate further. It was in our best interest to shift away from DEPP as the main star, as we could not afford any kind of risk damaging the brand beyond the criticism that followed Johnny's life in recent months. We understand that many of our customers associate Pirates with Mr. DEPP as the lead, and Hans Zimmer creating the magical music that you all remember. Our aim is to do better and to do different, and to cast wisely and carefully for our special main role that we are all set to announce in the coming months, when we feel it's necessary and have made our choice. What this means for our Disney parks and destinations revolving around the world, of the character of Jack Sparrow, will highly depend on the popularity that we gain on our Pirates reboot and rebranding in the future. We thank everyone for your time and remaining patient for the next few months before we have more to announce. So, what Bob Iger is getting at is that there's a possibility that you're not going to see Jack Sparrow anymore in the Disney parks in the future if this Pirates reboot really becomes that popular and really gains that much traction over the current Pirates, to the point where they would rebrand elements of the Disney parks. I don't know about you guys, but that would be a very terrible move, regardless if this reboot is successful or not. It's kind of like, you know, you can't imagine, you know, Universal Studios taking things away, right? You really can't take away, you know, aspects of those parks that are so familiar, that have been around for years upon years. And so, I think that Bob Iger, at the end of the day, just knows nothing about what the fans want. And you know what? To be honest, I wouldn't hold my breath too much. I mean, I think that right now, it's very possible that this reboot doesn't even get made. Sure, it's in early development, and I can't stress this enough. Early development is just talk. It's just a lot of conversations. It's a lot of discussions and brainstorming. It could be like this for a very long time, but as far as we know, the showrunner of The Last of Us is leading the way for the Pirates reboot, and he, by the way, is very dead center on focusing on the agenda-driven nonsense, DEI from Disney, that's not used in a balanced way. It's actually a very hypocritical agenda of theirs. You know, they use their DEI agenda, yet, like, for example, with Snow White, they refuse to include the 7 dwarfs. I mean, that's just a hypocritical piece right there. So, they're not really for equality, they're not really for inclusion, from what it seems. It's all about picking and choosing elements. And that's why that agenda is so flawed and makes absolutely no sense, and it just ruins all the franchises. And we gotta remember that a lot of this is backed up by BlackRock and Vanguard, some of the top 2 shareholders, you know? So, anyway, Iger has got no clue what's coming at him. I believe that once this reboot hits theaters, whenever it does hit theaters, it's a long ways off regardless, it's going to have yet another backlash situation similar to what's up and coming for Snow White, as well as, you know, what's coming for the Marvels. We all know it's not going to work well, and Bob Iger's only setting himself up for failure. So anyway, guys, drop a comment below, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.